I'm fine. It's been raining cats and dogs.
Yeah. Gary said,
I think.
and elephants and rhinos too. Yeah.
Wow. Today I had to leave the clinic early in Medina and make a quick dash up the mountain because it was it was just too much rain coming down
Yeah.
for a
Yeah.
short period of time. So
Okay.
today I'm going to have to join you via phone.
We're
Fortunately,
happy.
I can't be in studio with you.
That's okay. We're happy you're here, by the way. Thank you.
Right.
So,
Today, Kwame, some people are going to need amphibious vehicles to go home.
I know, right? Yes. Yes, Charlie. The roads are puddled
Woo,
and
woo.
flooded the most part, and there's a lot of traffic in town as well.
So people should just take it easy, make sure it stops raining before you head out because what I saw today was really, really heavy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So Kwame, we're still talking men's health, right?
Absolutely. And today we get to focus on prostate health. Huh?
Absolutely. Kwame, today I'll be asking you some questions
Oh,
before we go to our audience.
okay.
But what do you know about the prostate?
What do I know about the prostate?
Just one thing you know about the prostate.
Well, I think that the first thing that comes to mind is that men over 40 are the higher risk or something of the sort. So
Right.
if you're approaching
Right.
your 40, you need to go probably get checked out. That's what I know. And
right.
I know it
Kwame, you're
has.
absolutely right.
I know it's something below in the midsection around the bladder somewhere or something of the sort.
Okay. Hey, Kwame, you were in class. You didn't go DJ or party.
bro.
Right. So, as part of our Father's Day men-centric week and month, I decided to compile some of the questions, or I get a lot of questions thrown at me by patients and just by friends as well regarding the prostate.
Mm-hmm.
So today I'm going to share 7 questions that you must ask about your prostate health.
Okay.
Because asking relevant questions about your health can lead to early diagnosis of disease and the initiation of appropriate therapy. So it is very, very important we all do. I also generally find Ghanaians a bit reticent when it comes to asking doctors questions formally in the consulting room. But I would like to encourage everybody that there's a new breed, a new generation of doctors. So please pop the questions at us when you come to the consulting room.
Good.
The prostate gland can only be found in men. It is located deep inside the pelvis.
Okay.
Deep. And when you put your hands on your waist, that bone that we feel just below the umbilical, the point where you had your umbilical cord or your belly button,
Right.
the bone there, that's the ring that forms the pelvis. Mm-hmm. So the prostate gland can be found deep inside the pelvis, and it is actually below the bladder. I think when we all get the desire to void, we all know where our bladder is. When you have a strong urge to pass urine, that area of your lower central abdomen, that is where your bladder is located. And the prostate is below or inferior to the urinary bladder. And it is also in front of the rectum. So the passageway for feces is behind, and in front of it, you have the rectum. So if doctors want to gain physical access to your prostate, then we go via the rectum. If we are doing semi-invasive procedure where we are not going to cut you or anything, then the rectum is an opening. So most people would have been subjected to a digital rectal examination in the doctor's consulting room, where the doctor would insert his gloved index finger, gelled appropriately, up into your rectum, and then gain access to the prostate. And this is why we have to do that examination, because of its location deep inside the pelvis and in front of the rectum. At birth, it is about the size of a pea. So imagine a granite. So that's about the size of it at birth. It then grows gradually till about 20 years. And then it should stop growing. It would have attained its adult size. It plays an important role physiologically. It has a very important role in contributing to the quantity as well as the quality of semen a man produces. And come here, let me take another opportunity to explain the difference between semen and sperms. That fluid that comes out during sexual excitement or orgasm during a sexual encounter, it's actually not sperms. I know that is the common expression we use, but it is actually semen.
Okay.
Within it, then you have the spermatozoa or the sperms. These are cells that carry a man's DNA and that meets up with the female's eggs and then forms the embryo or the next human being. So semen is the fluid that we all see. It is literally impossible to see spermatozoa or sperms with your naked eye, except we collect under the microscope and visualize under the microscope. The amount of semen you produce, prostate gland contributes to the volume of the semen that you produce in each ejaculate. And also, when we talk about the quality of the semen, then I'm referring to one specific biochemical parameter, which is the pH. So when we talk about the pH of a substance, then we are talking about how acidic or how alkaline that particular substance is. So that is the pH. The pH is usually alkaline in nature. Let's not forget that the pH in a woman is acidic. So for the spermatozoa to survive and traverse the vagina and go and meet the egg in the fallopian tube, you need to neutralize that acid by producing the opposite, an alkaline semen. And prostate gland helps in doing that because it produces this alkaline fluid that contributes to the semen. So it's like you have hot water and you mix it with cold water and then you get lukewarm water and it allows the spermatozoa to swim and go meet up with the egg. The shape of the prostate is like an inverted cone. So during Christmas and all of that, some festive periods, you find children wearing all these beautifully colored cone hats. So I want everybody to imagine that cone hat, and that's the shape of the prostate, but it is inverted. It's turned upside down. And therefore, the base that would usually sit on your head, the base surrounds the neck of the urinary bladder. So whenever we come to ask about the questions, or we begin to talk about the questions, you realize that a lot of the questions are related to the characteristics of your urine flow. And that is because of the close anatomic relationship between the prostate gland and the urinary bladder. Right. So, Kwame, what are those questions, important questions that you should ask? Well, clinically, or from the medical point of view, the prostate, or let me say the pathological point of view, because I've talked about its importance physiologically, the normal function. Now, from the disease perspective, the prostate gland is also very important. Why? There are three main diseases that we encounter with the prostate. The first one is called BPH. BPH. B for benign, P for prostatic, and H for hyperplasia. Hyperplasia is the medical term for a multiplication of cells. an increase in the total number of cells. So benign prostatic hyperplasia, benign means relatively harmless or that which doesn't kill you medically. Then we'll say benign. It doesn't mean it won't cause you trouble. It will cause you trouble, but it won't kill you. So benign prostatic hyperplasia simply means an enlargement of the prostate that will give you certain challenges but will not kill you. That is the first entity, BPH. The next reason why, from the pathological point of view, from the disease point of view, we take a keen interest in the prostate is the dreaded prostate cancer. The dreaded prostate cancer. So cancer means you have a disorderly growth of cells which, with no intervention, leads to death. So the opposite of benign is malignant or cancerous. So prostate cancer is the second disease entity we are interested in. And then the last one is something we call prostatitis, which is an inflammation of the prostate, usually occasioned by an infection. These are the three most noteworthy clinical conditions that can arise from the prostate. So now, Kwame, let's tackle the questions. The first question most of the time people get to ask me is, Doctor, why can't I hold my bladder even for a few seconds whenever I have the urge to void? Well, if you are asking this question right now as you listen to us, then you are experiencing something we would call urge incontinence. Incontinence means inability to hold something. So when you have the urge and you really have to go, all of us should be able to hold our urine for a bit and then void later. So Kwame, I'm sure it has happened a few times when you are on air and you really want to go, but you can't tell the whole world that, guys, I need to take a break.
Actually, so right now. Mikro, I'm waiting for you to finish talking fast, so I go.
Right. Now let me be quick about it.
Yes.
So the reason why sometimes you can't do that is because your prostate is enlarged, and because of its close proximity, because the base of the prostate wraps around the base of the urinary bladder, it irritates it, compresses it, and the little enlargement or distension as a result of urine, then you have the urge that you want to go. So it is one of the questions your doctor would seek to find from you if you can hold your urine. The second question is, why do I urinate so many times during the night, even if I do not drink water or eat a fluid-based meal? Well, the answer is that you may have an enlarged prostate, and there is a particular lobe of the prostate. Clinically, we will say the prostate has three lobes: the right, the left, or the two lateral lobes, and then there's a central or a median lobe. An enlargement of one of them then pushes on the bladder, again because of its very close proximity, and it gets you to void. Sometimes because of the location of the enlargement, it creates a little bit of an obstruction. So you are not able to completely empty your bladder at every urination session. And therefore, you want to go again in a short time because you were not able to completely empty the bladder. So this we will call frequency of urination. And because it happens at night, the medical expression is nocturia. So Kwame, the second answer is nocturia, or the second thing we want to talk about is nocturia, nighttime urination. But that may have some other causes as well. The third question is, why do I feel the urge to urinate, but then I have to strain to get the urine out? Well, you are experiencing an obstruction to the urine flow. because the pathway of urine goes through the prostate. So, Kwame, the structure between the bladder and the tip of the penis is called the urethra. It's a narrow tube that the urine passes through from the bladder to the outside. But this narrow tube, at a point, passes through the prostate. So as the prostate gets enlarged, it constricts or it squeezes on this narrow tube, and it can narrow the lumen, the hole inside this tube, such that your bladder is full, you have the urge to urinate, but you then have to force the urine out before it really comes out. So we call this straining at urination. The fourth question is, why do I feel I have not fully emptied my bladder at the end of the urine stream? So sometimes some people would urinate, and then as they are zipping up or washing their hands, they get the feeling that not everything quite came out. Well, this is also an obstructive symptom. Again, when the prostate is so enlarged, it may squeeze, or the exit of the bladder, because the exit of the bladder is right at its base, and that is the natural location of the prostate, and may get enlarged. Fifth question, why do I dribble urine these days? Let me tell you a funny story, and all boys do this in their teenage or when they are a little before their teenage period. We all stand, and there's a competition about whose urine stream goes farthest or can travel farthest.
Yeah.
So that's when you want to cheat a little bit, you tend to arch your back a little bit, or your pelvis, and try and get an inch or two on your mate to see how the urine travels. Why is it that grown-ups don't do it? It's not because we are grown, but as you grow older, the muscles of the bladder, the muscles in the pelvis that get you to throw the urine so far, they all get weaker. Some people also get prostate enlargement, so you are getting an obstruction. So these days, when we are peeing, we have to rather open our legs, because the urine is dropping right in front of you. If you don't take care, you soil your shoes. So dribbling of urine, meaning the urine comes in drops, especially towards the end, where you dribble for a continuous period of time, is also one of the features of a possible enlargement of the prostate.
So it means it can't shoot far.
You can't shoot at all. It's just dropping right in front of you.
Is it only urine that can shoot, or it's okay?
It's okay. This afternoon, when you were doing the intro, you said everywhere is slippery. Please. Please, I'll leave it for my stakeholders to answer that question. But for that, it's only urine that is shooting.
Okay, that's fine.
The sixth question is, I have difficulty initiating urination, although I feel the urge. We will call this hesitancy. So, Kwame, they feel the urge to go and void. But when they get there, or when you get there, you feel then you'll be there for a while, like a minute or two, humming some tunes, and then the urination starts. This may also be as a result of prostate enlargement. And then lastly, why is my urine stream so sluggish, although I am only in my 40s? And Kwame, this one, it is my personal question that I keep asking myself. Well, the simple answer is, it could be that your prostate is gradually getting enlarged, and again, it is constricting the space, the outlet from the bladder, or the portion of the urethra that runs through the prostate gland. So, please, if you are having any of these questions, any of these symptoms, one or two, please add the rest to it. And when you go and see your doctor the next time, pour all the other questions down. The doctor would find that you've made his job or her job very, very, very easy. I will be very, very happy with you. So these are the 7 questions you need to ask about your prostate so that we can make an early diagnosis if there is disease and we can initiate appropriate therapy.
Okay. Well, I'm sure some people can relate to all these questions or some of the questions that you shared with us. Now, if they can how can they reach you and probably get some help?
Right. So, Kwame, the phone number is 0501 477 340. 0501 477 340. We also put out all of this information on our social media pages. Medicals Hospital is our Facebook wall. Ant Medicals GH is our Twitter handle. And then Ant Medicals GH, our Instagram contact as well. So, Kwame, those who want to reach out to us on WhatsApp is the same number, 0501 477 340. And somebody will be online to help you.
All right. Yeah, this has been so helpful. I'm grateful, Doc.
Right.
We are grateful that you shared with us. Thank you so much. Yeah?
You're welcome, Kwame, and I'll see you next week.
Certainly. Dr. Yao Osafo is the CEO of Medicals Hospital, Medina, Firestone, and Mampong Equiapim. Yeah, we've been talking about prostate health. Thanks for staying tuned in. I'm Lexis Bell. The news is coming up very shortly right after this.